इसका अच्छा ही होना चाहिए।
ये बोनस ही है हमारे लिए, जितना भी निकल जाए ठीक है।
जो अपने लेवल से जितना हो सके कंट्रीब्यूट, ठीक है।
और अच्छा किया आपने ये कोर्स अरेंज कर दिया, दैट्स गुड।
ये कोविड का समय का कुछ फायदा भी है।
मतलब कहीं भी बैठ के आप ट्रेवल करने की जरूरत
बहुत बड़ी
नहीं।
बात हो गई,
बहुत
we have learned to save a lot of time and energy in travel and then still see each other and
हाँ,
conduct meetings, conferences,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
classes from remote.
टेक्नोलॉजी की अपनी ही बहुत ज्यादा एडवांटेजेस हैं, that
Correct.
we realized in COVID,
Yes.
अगर
Earlier,
ये
we never
टेक्नोलॉजी।
knew how to do a Google Meet earlier.
यस यस, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
But
इट्स
there
अ
must be
ग्रेट।
platforms, Zoom meetings were there, but we were never party to this.
मैंने कभी जिंदगी में अटेंड ही नहीं की थी, वी
हाँ,
नेवर न्यू व्हाट जूम इज। हमने
yes.
सोचा ये मजाक ही होता है कुछ।
Correct.
अभी फिजिकल मोड में तो शुरू नहीं हुआ आपका?
हाँ सर, अब नहीं, वी हैव स्टार्टेड इन फिजिकल मोड, बट अभी क्या है कि सेमेस्टर खत्म हो गया, पिछले वाला एग्जाम चल रहे हैं और फर्स्ट ईयर इज गेटिंग इन फिजिकल एट द मोमेंट।
अच्छा अच्छा।
जी,
तो
तो गवर्नमेंट
नेक्स्ट
के ऑर्डर्स
आपका
आ गए
कब,
हैं। जी,
नेक्स्ट आपका कब शुरू हो रहा है सेमेस्टर?
नेक्स्ट सेमेस्टर
शेड्यूल?
विल बी स्टार्टिंग मार्च, मार्च
अच्छा
फर्स्ट वीक।
मार्च। अच्छा
Yeah,
अच्छा।
because this week, this month we have examination going on.
हम्म।
Then there are some practical exams left, basically
ठीक है।
studio and all these things. Then after, immediately after this, we'll have next semester.
अच्छा, तो देयर इज अ टाइम ओवररन ऑफ अबाउट 2.5 months or 3 months?
No, that we will cover because
You welcome, I think that's what it is.
so there's no, in that sense, a real loss in that sense for the students.
Oh,
They're doing the time in same period almost.
right. I think things should normalize now. Things
Yeah,
should
yeah,
normalize.
correct. But still, in many countries, it is catching very fast. In Hong Kong,
करीब
I
है,
just found,
बिल्कुल।
it is, but now this severity is reduced somehow.
हाँ
That's
हाँ,
the feel.
that's,
But you never know what happens next.
हाँ, yeah, that is
Who has
what
thought of this COVID in your
we have to,
lifetime?
in fact, we have to live with this now. That's what
But
it appears.
come to think of this, the small children who has begun their life with COVID.
That's right. They are
We are at the
two,
far end of a life and we have seen this. But come to think of children.
I think the children and in fact we have also undergone a change in psyche.
Yes.
Frankly speaking, I dread to go out. That's what it is. They are inviting me in Ahmedabad to make a lecture in Chandigarh, and they were
Right.
asking me in January.
Yeah.
I'm postponing it. I'm not.
Why to invite unnecessary, kind of
But that's what it
troubles.
appears to be, why to get unnecessarily, and once you are out, you can't control, and you are in a crowd and
No,
everything
yeah,
they approach you.
definitely. Then you're liable to receive anything from anywhere.
Anything.
You have no control over this.
It's basically saving yourself. That's
Right.
now it is.
जी, Manoj,
Sir, good morning.
good morning. Shall we start, Manoj?
Star sir is going to join. Ajay sir has joined. No problem.
You've got to call, sir.
Sir, I have already given him a call.
Okay.
You also kindly try if it's possible. Ajay sir, good morning. Are you there, sir? Ajay sir. Jeet sir, I'm really sorry. Professor Ajay Munga is unable to unmute himself. So because the technical glitches, will be delaying this session for 2 or 3 minutes.
No problem. No problem. Take your time.
अब आ गई मनोज आवाज? हेलो?
नहीं आई माइक।
ओके, मैं सॉरी बंद करता हूँ, फोन बंद करता हूँ। Good morning, sir. Vijay sir, good morning. Registrar sir has also joined. Praveen sir, hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Sir, good morning. Good morning to all the participants and all the dignitaries. Welcome to the first day inaugural session of the AICT Training and Learning Atal Academy online faculty development program on advances in applications of remote sensing and GIS. The faculty program will go from will be like conducted from 10th of February to February 14th of 2022. And I welcome Professor Ajay Monga to kindly introduce to the dignitaries.
Thank you, Manoj. Very good morning to everybody. I welcome worthy registrar in this inaugural session, and my special regard to my teacher, Jeet Gupta sir, and who is the chief guest today. I'm very happy to see you, sir. Sir is my teacher when I was the student at the Chandigarh College of Architecture. Sir was my guide when I was pursuing PG, and my mentor in the research. What I am today is only because of sir's blessing and the guidance on his side. Sir, thank you so much for joining this session. And my welcome and special thanks to all faculty members of the department and the experts, those who will be contributing in next 2 days for enlighten most of us about this latest field of GIS. I'm sure everybody knows about the basic of the GIS, but very few people are available in the country who are technically experts. So my thanks to all experts who will be connecting from KU, JNU, Delhi, abroad, IRRS, MNIT Jaipur, and we are eagerly waiting to listen to everybody. And my special thanks to AICT, special to Colonel Venkat. So I keep on visiting AICT office. Whenever I go there, I request them, sir, please डीक्रस्ट का ध्यान जरूर आप रखिएगा. तो मेरे को हंसते थे. मैं कहा सर कोर्सेज की हमें जरूरत है. वी नीड द गुड पीपल टू कनेक्ट विद आवर यूनिवर्सिटी. My special thanks to Colonel Venkat. Next week I'll be again going to that office to convey my thanks on behalf of Manoj. I will meet him, and I welcome all the participants. As per the data available, roughly around 200 participants will be are attending this program, and because of this wider publicity, and these participants are from the 23 states of the country. And if we talk about the streams, so there are a huge participation from the discipline of computer science and engineering, architecture, civil engineering, environmental engineering, and electronics engineering. So I wish all the best to the organizer, and I request Jeet sir and registrar sir to bless all the organizers and the department for its success for the next 2 days. And I'm very confident it will be a highly beneficial program for all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for introducing all the dignitaries. Professor Praveen Kumar, sir, Chairman, Department of Architecture and Professor in Architecture Department. Sir, welcome to you, sir. Kindly give a brief about the FDP program participants and speakers and their relative topics related to the FDP. Sir, please, sir.
Oh, thank you, Manoj. First of all, very warm morning to all dignitaries, my seniors, and our worthy registrar sir, who has kindly given consent to the part of inaugural ceremony, and our chief guest sir, Professor Jeet Gupta ji, who has been our mentor, teacher, and guide throughout our lives, and still a source of inspiration for all of us. We are very, very happy to have him here in our online FDP program, and the other speakers and dignitaries in the meeting. So as I've been given the task of introducing this faculty development program and the number of speakers and the participants from across the country, so I'm very happy to kind of give a brief intro to the entire program. This is basically an online program which is meant for faculty development for the teachers as well as students. And the program is very topical as the remote sensing and GIS is already in use, and it has a very wide applications, and in the field of environment, geography, urban and regional planning, spatial temporal decision making, location allocations of facilities, healthcare, we have seen in disaster and during COVID how GIS has enabled the availability of beds, knowledge about the beds, disaster preparedness and management, agriculture and water management, even solid waste management. How the trucks carrying solid waste are being monitored through GIS in control and command centers of the respective municipal corporations. So now GIS and remote sensing have been widely being used in diverse fields, right from healthcare to the urban planning to the disaster preparedness to the environment, etc. and etc. So the objectives of the programs are to kind of provide the fundamental, theoretical, and practical framework of in the field of remote sensing and GIS, to provide knowledge on the data acquisition by using remote sensing, processing its uses, by through extensive lab sessions to apply these methods and tools to real-world challenges, and provide participants with the opportunity to gain experience in using state-of-art software using remote sensing and GIS. So prima facie, the participants will get hands-on interactive sessions in the lab, experimenting on different softwares like SPSS, MATLAB, Stella, Arcgis, ADAS, Imagine, etc., through live exercises on the relevant topics. And apart from this, there will be diversity of mix of lectures from the eminent speakers from different fields, right from the urban planning to the Center of Social Studies to disaster management. So the participants at the end of the program will be able to kind of use these existing tools and techniques in a better way, and understand the wider applications of these softwares in data collection, image processing, and modeling remote sense data. So this program will be really useful for all the participants, and they will get wider view or overview of the program, in addition to a hands-on learning through the lab sessions, through the different activities during the course. So the course is very topical. And regards the, we have the various speakers who are eminent profile, who are having eminent profile. For example, we have the Professor R.D. Garg from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. And we have Professor Shri Ritesh Kumarji, who will be next speaker in our session from HARSAC, Haryana Space Application Center, Hisar. And we have Dr. Shama Gupta from Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, today itself having a lecture on application of remote sensing and GIS for urban studies. And we have Professor Milap Punia from School of Social Sciences, and Professor Poonam Sharma from Center of Disaster Management Studies. So you can see there's a complete profile given to the various participants as a part of the program brochure. So, and we have the speakers from abroad, Nikhil Berwal from Watson Williamson Plus Partners, LLP, London, England. And we have from Punjab, Shri Sumit Kumar, Punjab Remote Sensing Center, Ludhiana, and our own faculty. And we have the Professor Mahesh Kumar Jat from Department of Civil Engineering, MNIT Jaipur. So we have a wide diversity of eminent speakers who will be touching upon the various topics and giving the wider overviews and the hands-on sessions to the participants. So this is a really great, well-organized program to benefit the participants. And as our Dean has already introduced, that we have speakers from the 23 states in the country, and we have nearly 200 speakers from diverse fields, from architecture, electronics, and computer science, and even the chemistry, chemical science, engineering, and all this. So we have wide diversity of speakers and wide diversity of participants. So the course will go a long way in kind of, establishing the wider applications, more usage of these softwares, and making people more friendly and familiar with the software, so that they can explore in future in making the society more conducive to meet challenges of disasters as we are facing during COVID, and other challenges that are going to come up in the future. So I wish all the success to our participants during the program, and I really am thankful to all the speakers and Professor Jeet sir for being here and sparing his valuable time during the session. And so thank you, Manoj. This is all. I think this is a brief introduction of the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for introducing all the speakers. The inaugural session was to be conducted earlier from like the first lecture was with Professor Bhagwan Singh Chaudhary due to demise of some of his close relative who couldn't deliver. Then the Professor V.S. Arya, Director Harsek, was supposed to give the first lecture, so he couldn't. He then appointed Shri Ritesh Kumarji from Harsek, and due to elections in Punjab, Professor Dr. Brajendra Pateria, Director Punjab Remote Sensing Center, he was also supposed to be there, but we couldn't make him join because of the elections. So the list was quite exhaustive, and like we have been always like connected to Professor S.K. Ghosh from IIT Roorkee, so he was also supposed to be there, but due to some close incidents, he couldn't join. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Professor Suresh Kumar, who is Registrar of Vardi Registrar of our University, Deenbandhu Chhotram University of Science and Technology, Murthal. Sir is like actively engaged and has regularly provided support to us in all the manners whenever we have gone to him for any kind of help. So I would like to invite Suresh Kumar, sir, for giving the talk on the theme of the FDP.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, audible, sir.
Thank you, Pamarji.
Thank you, sir.
Respected Professor Ajay Monga, Dean Faculty of Architecture, Professor Praveen Kumar, Chairman Architecture Department, Professor Ramesh Kumar Garg, Director, Atal Academy, Atal Center over here, request, and Honorable Chief Guest Shri Jeet Kumar Gupta ji, Chief Town Planner, retired from Punjab. So this is the IICT Training and Learning Program, Faculty Development Program, that is on advances in application of remote sensing and GIS. As informed by Pamarji, there are lots of participants throughout, as described by Professor Parveen as well, throughout the country, and experts also are here. Actually, if we see the theme of this program, advances in applications of remote sensing and GIS, actually it is a very sensitive field basically. Actually, if you see, if we go 10-15 years back, at that time, if there was some forecast regarding weather, etc., okay, so it would not happen at that time because of means at that time the means the processing equipment was not good. But during the past decade, if you see means since many years, during past decade we can say, means we have real-time information nowadays. Okay, just think means regarding weather and means if suppose there is a means GIS information, global means everywhere in many fields the remote sensing and GIS this are being used. And we get the real-time connectivity. We have an example of means this weather forecasting, and if we can take the example of just like means taxi like means just like Ola, Uber, when we call and we can trace them. Means and in weather means we can know means when there will be rain, etc. Means see the means example few days back we have real-time information. Okay, so nowadays we have state-of-art electronic equipments, and we can process the data, and we can go up to the means what is going to be happen, and real-time information can be given in various fields. Okay, means environmental science, in agriculture, forestry, etc. There are lots of use of remote sensing in every field. In every field, we have means in biological conversion, ecological restoration, natural hazards management. So means the computing technique and the information sending mechanism is means based on means latest state of art tools and computing, and this one processing of the data is nowadays very excellent, and we can get real time information. So I think the participants will get a lot of information through this faculty development program, and I hope the participants will learn a lot of things regarding the data analysis, data processing, and analysis regarding this regarding the on the basis of software that is being used in data processing and analysis in case of the means this GIS and remote sensing. Okay, so I congratulate the means the organizers, the Department of Architecture, for holding such a nice program. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for always remaining available for helping us out and for your kind blessings. Thank you very much again, sir.
Okay, sir.
Now,
Okay.
now
I will have to leave because there are a lot of work standing before me. So please give me permission to leave.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite Jeet Kumar Gupta, sir. Like I have starting from my architectural education itself, well back in 2003, I have heard about sir from Professor Ajay Monga sir, Praveen Kumar sir, Vijay sir, and all the other faculty members who are from CCH Chandigarh. So Jeet Kumar sir is very famous in the field of architecture and planning, and Jeet Kumar Gupta sir is with a professional and academic experience, which is spanning over more than 52 years in architectural education, urban planning, green build, environment, then policy planning. Sir is founder director of College of Architecture, IIT Baddal. Sir holds architecture degree in bachelor's degree in architecture law, then master's in town planning and public administration, postgraduate diploma in Gandhian studied, and certificate course in management of urban development from UK. Sir is a fellow in IIA, ITPI, and senior fellow in IGBC. Sir is past chairman of Board of Studies Architecture, Punjab Technical University. Currently, sir is chairman of Chandigarh chapter IGBC. Sir is member of State Level Road Safety Council, Chandigarh, and chairman Board of Studies and IIA. Sir is regularly invited as for delivering the guest lectures in most of the universities in India. Sir is regularly delivering lectures in US, ACA 12 countries, China, SARC, Kathmandu, then Bhutan, Switzerland. Sir has served as a member of jury for ACA 19 awards for excellence in architecture. Sir is closely connected with the number of reputed universities, academic institutions at regional and national level for teaching, learning architecture, and then urban planning, rural planning, and empowering teachers in the technical institutions, beside capacity building program of state officials and elected representatives of regarding various missions and yojanas launched by Government of India. Sir has worked as a team leader for World Bank project CADS for 4 towns of Gujarat, Srinagar Master Plan. Sir is senior consultant of 6 master plans of Punjab and member advisory committee, Chandigarh Master Plan 2031. Sir has authored more than 300 technical papers, and Sir has authored more than 10 ebooks. Sir, welcome to you, and thank you very much for accepting our request at such a short notice for being the chief guest of the inaugural session. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Manoj, for such an elaborate kind of introduction, which I think I don't deserve, But thank you very much, Ajay Mongaji, Mr. Praveen Kumar, and Vijay Kumarji, for giving me this opportunity to be part of this faculty development program, primarily which is focused on the AICTE, training and learning, academy sponsored and which focuses on advances in application of remote sensing and GIS. I must congratulate the Department of Architecture of the DCRUST for taking up this onus of organizing a 5 days dedicated program, which will talk about the advanced application of two very vital instruments, which is given by technology, that's GIS and remote sensing, in the hands of the professional planners, architects, engineer, environmentalists, and all the professionals in the city planning and management to have a larger view of the context of urban planning and development, etc. I think technology has its own relevance and implication. We have to understand that we are living in an era of technology. Technology has its own implications in terms of improving productivity, improving efficiency, bringing cost effectiveness, promoting transparency and objectivity. And it also leads to a lot of decision making because it puts so much material and data in your own hand. And it makes you possible to approach inaccessible, bringing time efficiency, safety, promoting risk management, and providing valuable database. I think technology has been very useful in connecting, communicating, planning and designing our manpower, of our resources, and also, in fact, making an objective decision. As has already been said by Mr. Parveen, that how this technology has been leveraged in the case of pandemic, and we are still using it for promoting connectivity, for taking rational decision to overcome this disaster, and to minimize the problem faced in the sector healthcare, delivery of services, etc. But that technology has shown its strength, has shown its depth, has shown its breadth, to what extent it can help the human beings to be more efficient, more proactive, and be objective in addressing the critical issues faced by community, states, and nations. I think technology shall have been relevant, or is becoming relevant, and shall become more relevant as we evolve, devolve, and as we talk about and grow in this era of 21st century. I think we will look at technology as one of our savior, as one of, providing us a lot of knowledge and understanding, giving us capacity, empowering us for our decision making. Accordingly, I think technology remains relevant, and there can't be better option for the technical institutions and for the personals who are undergoing education and who are imparting education to understand the context of GIS and remote sensing in the application of their professional duties, professional decision making, and professional competency. Looking at the entire context, I would say India needs these technology, particularly GIS and remote sensing, on a larger scale, because as has been brought out in the report just prepared by Niti Aayog regarding reforms in the urban capacity building in the urban India, that's a September 2021 report, which must be read by all the planners and all the professionals, which clearly indicates how how urban planning has been handicapped, how urban planning has not been able to deliver the right kind of decision making and empowering cities, with the cities growing in an unplanned and haphazard manner. The report regards, 65% of the 7,933 urban centers which have been, identified do not have any planning framework, what to talk of a master plan to promote their planned development. Looking at the entire context, by 2036, when 73% of the total population growth will happen in urban area, and by 2050, when 50% of the urban India will be living in urban area, that means by in 2050, half of the India will be in urban area and half in the rural area. And after 2050, the rural population in absolute terms will start declining. I think this is an opportunity. This is, a paradigm. It needs a paradigm shift that all these cities needs to be provided with a framework where they can be planned, where they can be developed in a rational manner, where their problems of poverty, employment, infrastructure, shelter, etc., all can be addressed. And I tell you, COVID-19 has clearly revealed the role and importance of technology in addressing the issues, particularly related to, as Praveen has said, in the area of healthcare, in the area of, this management of the COVID and the disasters, etc. I think we need technology. We need to leverage technology, not only rationalizing the urban development, but also addressing the issue related to lack of available urban services, problem of traffic congestion, pressure on basic infrastructure, air pollution, urban floodability, water scarcity, and addressing issues like drought, etc. Please understand, India has only 2.4% of the global land. We have 17.7% of the population to cater. I think India needs better land management and decision making with regard to, urbanization and development of the human settlements. I think if we don't have framework for planning and development for 2/3 of the urban centers, you can understand what are the, challenge before us to make them more rational and make them a better place to live in. I think the role and importance of GIS remains very, very critical, because in most of the planning paradigm, the kind of instrument which we are supposed to prepare, you have to prepare, the regional plan, the master plan, the development plan, the local area plan, and also, the detailed plan or the zonal plan. Certainly these plans cannot be prepared unless and until you have a correct and accurate base and mapping of the ground on which you are going to plan. And it is only by virtue of the remote sensing and the GIS we can source that information, and we can have that kind of, platform by which we can provide better planning, and a correct planning which can be implemented. Let me remind you, I was part of the Srinagar development plan, and I was going through the plan. The master plan prepared had one of the greatest drawback, that whenever they went to implement the master plan, wherever they were trying to lay a road, there was a water body, and wherever they wanted to do any kind of development, they could see the roads and already things have been constructed. Just it was given to us the old report of the master plan, and there I came to know the base plan prepared by National Remote Sensing Institute was stolen by somebody, and ultimately there was no base plan available with the Srinagar Development Authority, and ultimately they went on planning based on the plan which was available to them. And since that plan was not an accurate plan, and that's what, the entire context of the growth and development of the Srinagar as the most beautiful and the paradise on this this planet Earth, lost most of its glory and heritage, etc. So I'm just trying to draw your context relating to the accurate mapping, base maps, based on which you have to draw your own. Ultimately you have to take a decision regarding development, regarding positioning of various infrastructure, and taking the city forward. And if you don't have that plan, surely whatever master plan you will prepare, we will end up in a disaster and they cannot be implemented. And that's what the problem and the bane of in this. And why the master plan of 65% of the population cities are not in existence, for the simple reason that the base plans of these cities and towns are not available. Of course, the report refers to 7,933 as the total town, but please understand there are 4,441, the statutory town. Rest are all, the census town, which have no legal status in the urban parlance or then the legal manner, But even looking at the 4,041, if 65% towns, the statutory towns, don't have a planning framework, I think we need to do it. We need to have, making building capacity of planning, designing of these cities, and they can only be built in, and they can be built on only if we have correct base plan, accurate base plan, and base plan prepared on the shortest time frame. And we have seen, the most of the problem we had, that there are no base plans. What to talk of the accurate base plan? There are no base plan available for most of the town. And surely GIS and remote sensing are the two kind of instrument available which can be leveraged to prepare, the accurate base plans in a, most economical, cost-effective, and time-efficient manner, which can be made available to the town planning department and the planning professional to prepare planning strategies. The Government of India, considering the role and importance of GIS and remote sensing, have already taken up the agenda, and they have under Amrit, they are trying to say 500 master plans based on GIS should be prepared. So 500 agenda is available. We're talking of 4,041, the cities which are going to grow and grow as our urbanization level grows in. So therefore, I think the relevance of these technologies, that is remote sensing, GIS, remains very, very important. But please understand, cities are evolving, devolving. They are dynamic. They are never static. They are never finite. They need a dynamic system to support them, dynamic technology to provide correct information. And therefore, the most important thing remains that the technology of GIS, the technology of remote sensing, they have to evolve, they have to devolve, they have to stay relevant. There need to be research and development carried out to make these technology most relevant and most important. Unfortunately, despite these technology remain very, very important, very, very relevant, they have not been disseminated to the right extent at the local level. It's a time, it's a time this technology should not be, based or showcased and made such a thing, that it remains a kind of inaccessible to the masses. I think they are the, technology which has to be taken at the grassroots level, at the local level, with all the institutions and with all the stakeholders who can, use them, leverage them, so as to promote not only the, the quality of living in urban area or the growth and development of these cities, but also empowering professionals to have the knowledge, understanding, and the capacity to appreciate, analyze the urban problem in a realistic manner, and take a realistic decision, not only in a subjective manner, but in an objective manner. I think I don't have to develop on this. I'm not expert on GIS and remote sensing, but nevertheless, from my understanding, from my knowledge, and for being part of the technical manpower and the engaged in city planning and development, I think the technologies remain relevant. They are essential. They remain critical. If we're told we have to grow and grow and go ahead. And if we have to have an agenda of SDG 17, that the goal 11 mandates cities to be made more inclusive, resilient, safe, and sustainable. It's only talking about cities, but I think in India, where there are only 7,933 towns and 6,40,000 villages, where 68% population lived in the 2011, and where till 50, majority of population will live. We need these kinds of instruments to provide us the base plans, to provide us the accurate maps for, chartering a rightful agenda for their growth and development. I will stop it here, but I would like, before stopping, I like to have few, statements to make, few suggestions to make. I think technology remains relevant. So technology, please, should be made integral part of teaching, learning, all professional education. So they should be included not as a subject of study in one semester, It should be taken up an agenda right the day student is inducted in a professional institute of urban planning, architecture, engineering, or environment, or anything related to traffic and transportation. The day one, the technology should remain integral part of teaching learning. Here I would like to make a caution, let technology not become our master. Technology should remain a tool. It should provide you, necessary data, and it should not guide you everything that this is the decision. Decision has to be made by human minds, based on the correct data and correct picture. And technology should remain and treated as a tool, to provide that kind of assistance, to empower the decision making, and to make a rational decision making. Secondly, I would like that National Remote Sensing, Indian Remote Sensing Center Dehradun, Haryana Space Application Center, they should all come on in a platform. Since there are remote sensing center all over the country and all the states, but I think there need a collaboration, cooperation, and a mutual support to refine, define, and redefine the strength and take over the weaknesses of these technology and to make it more relevant. I would also suggest, that all technical university and decrust university, please understand, decrust university must take up an agenda to set up a center for remote sensing. Looking at the context of the preparing the base plan, preparing the master plan, preparing the local area plan, planning the entire urban and rural area, I think the scope and intent and the employment opportunity in this section in areas are enormous. We have acute shortage of this. So I think Haryana Decrust University, being the a technical university and a pioneer university, must have a remote sensing center set in there. Secondly, thirdly, I would suggest that a specialized program leading to a degree or diploma in remote sensing and GIS technology must be set up in the Department of Architecture, not only for creating that kind of professional, but also providing and supporting the department, in empowering the planning and the architecture student, so that tomorrow when they go out in the field, they have all the knowledge, understanding, and expertise available with this, And I think we need to have a precision analysis of all these technologies, which should not remain foreign, which should be available. I know they are costly, but their cost can be minimized, and they shall be minimized over a period of time, but they shall have to be part of the teaching curriculum, teaching learning. All the faculty must learn this. Faculty should be able to understand the context of this and relevance of that, because it empowers you sitting at your place to appreciate, to understand what is happening in ground reality. It brings subjectivity, it eliminates subjectivity, brings objectivity. It enables the better planning and empower the cities and the urban planners. I would like to end it here. I will, but I would be feeling in my duty if I don't place on record my gratitude, my appreciation, my thanks for making me part of this great program, which is being dedicated to the technology, which are main driver, growth driver of knowledge and information relating to urban planning, that GIS and the remote sensing. I think DCRUST must not stop here. It should be only a beginning. A series of programs on this line should be organized so that this is disseminated. And I know the 99 participants, 200 listed participants who were representing 22 states and 2012 specialization will take up the information, the knowledge, the expertise, which will be disseminated by the host of experts, speakers, which have been listed and which have been defined by both Manoj and Praveen. I think this should be a great platform for learning, and this must be continued because learning never stops. It needs to be evolve and devolve. It needs to disseminate, to empower people and professionals to do their capacity building and discharge their professional degree, functions in a more rational and realistic manner. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It's always been blessing for all of us to listen to you and your vision on the cities and the all these applications of remote sensing and GIS specifically to be used by all of us planners. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our request. I would like to invite now senior most professor Dr. Vijay Kumar from Department of Architecture, DCRUST Murthal. Sir, we will take up your suggestions for DCRUST Murthal. We'll be writing to HARSEC. We have already written to HARSEC to provide a center to us, and we are starting all these mapping of the cities and planning of the cities. So we'll be writing very soon to the state government for taking up the suggestions given by you, and we'll discuss with our vice chancellor sir also all the suggestions that you have provided. Thank you very much, sir. Sir Vijay sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Manoj. I think first of all we should thank AICT for sponsoring and giving us this opportunity to organize such a grand event. And I mean, we are very fortunate to have a Atal Academy here, and many teachers, especially Professor R.K. Garg, has put in lots of effort to develop this academy, and we are getting this opportunity because of that. So we should thank AICT also and our teachers who are pursuing this particular academy. Then our thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor sir. He is not here because of some engagement. Professor Anayat, he is always very positive in motivating any and support any such program, maybe related to academics, maybe related to sports, cultural, any program. You take any proposal, he is always positive, and you'll get yes and approval from his department. So I mean, I'm very thankful to Professor Anayat sir for all his support. Then thanks to Professor Jeet Gupta sir. He's our mentor. He is our guardian. He is guardian to the department. He's our teacher. He's senior. And beside a fine technocrat, he's a very fine person. And always, whenever we need him for examination, for lecture, for inaugural addresses, for any kind of support, academic support, literary support, he's always there for us, and will be seeking his support and association in future also. Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much that you spare, your time. Yesterday evening at about 8 or 9, I requested you and you accepted this. We on behalf of my department, on behalf of Manoj and the organizers, as well as the Atal Academy, we are very, very thankful to you, sir. Then my sincere thanks to Professor Suresh Kumar, Registrar of the University. From past few months, we have experienced that he's a nice combination of technocrat, academician, as well as an administrator. Rather, I would say effective administrator. I'll thank you, sir, for your all logistic support provided to Manoj, his team, in organizing these programs. Then thanks to Professor Monga, Professor Arcgis, Professor Parveen Kumar in providing all motivation, support, and logistic systems in organizing this event to Manoj and Kavita. Thank you. Then again, I welcome all participants in this event. I hope you will get good information from this academic deliberation, and by the effort of coordinators, I'm very astonished and happy to see that participants from all parts of the country, they are here and they are joining in this academic discussions. Thank you, Manoj, and thank you all participants for appreciating us, for being part of this event. Thank you all. And finally, congrats and best wishes to coordinator Dr. Manoj and Kavita. Rather, I would request Manoj to prepare a small compendium of all these lectures and presentations which will be delivered here, and keep it in the form of a booklet and keep it in the library. Then Professor Jeet Kumar, he touched 2-3 very important issues. Number one is that he wants us to be a center for remote sensing of the state. I think this kind of discussion we already had with the Honorable Vice Chancellor also. He also wants us to take up this issue, and we should make some base plans for Haryana cities for making the development plan and the master plan. So we will look forward for this program, sir, and definitely we will plan for some diploma course of GIS from our department. Then from the state, yesterday I was having a discussion with the Chief Town Planner of Haryana. We do not have GIS-based development plans of Haryana cities, whereas in UP now fresh master plans of Aligarh, Bulandshahr, Khurja, even Noida, Meerut, they are all GIS-based master plans. Even in Punjab, we have GIS-based master plans. In Haryana, we do not have. So I think, Manoj, we should prepare a small booklet of these discussions, and we should send these discussions to Chief Planner of Haryana. And definitely we should support the state in some way so that they can prepare GIS-based plans for making the development plan and master plans of Haryana cities. This is, I think, this responsibility comes to us because we are the only leading academic institution in this particular field. So thank you very much. Thank you, organizer. Thank you, participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jeet Gupta, sir. And best wishes and congratulations. And I hope this will be a successful program, and we will come out with a beautiful document out of it. And it will be an informative this thing. And we will definitely send a proposal to the government also. And we'll support government in this particular field. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for encouraging us and for making me write all these things. So I'll prepare a document and we'll submit it very soon. I'll have a discussion at the department level. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for the inaugural session. Sir, to the dignitaries, if they are willing to listen to the first lecture by Shri Ritesh Kumar on introduction of web GIS and remote sensing applications, they are welcome. Shri Ritesh Kumar has already joined the program because of the delay in the session. So he has already joined, and the session was to be started at 12 a.m. and 12 noon. So he has joined. I welcome Shri Ritesh Kumar also. Sir, with this, I'll end this as a formal inaugural session is ended. and I'll invite Shri Ritesh Kumar now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon, sir.
Thank you, Manoj Pawarji. I think you can hear me. This is Ritesh.
Yes, sir. Yes. Just a minute, sir. I'm really sorry. I was just sending this.
No. It's okay. So inaugural program has set the right tone actually. To have a, you can say, means heated session abroad ahead of this actually. So,
sir, kindly switch on your video. The video.
I will share my screen actually.
Okay. Actually, the video mode was not on. That's why I was.
I will share my screen. You can record this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a minute. I'll formally invite Shri Ritesh Kumar ji. Welcome to the first session of the formal lecture series of this FDP program on advances in application of remote sensing and GIS, which will go from 10th Feb to 14th Feb of 2022. Shri Ritesh Kumar will deliver the first lecture in the session. I'm very thankful to Professor V.S. Arya, Director HARSEC, Haryana, who has given this opportunity to Shri Ritesh Kumar to introduce the HARSEC, the work which they are doing at HARSEC, and various advancements which are basically in the form of GIS and remote sensing application, because HARSEC basically takes care of most of the remote sensing applications in Haryana, and most of the work that you'll see in and around Haryana or in various research papers, HARSEC basically undertakes all those type of work. Shri Ritesh Kumar ji is presently working at HARSEC Hisar as an assistant scientist in forestry division since November 2016. Sir was also associated with the same institute as a guest lecturer on remote sensing back in August 2013 to May 2014. Sir has worked as senior GIS executive at NPTI Faridabad as on deputation from CES Technologies Private Limited, and sir has also been associated with ILFS, Environment Infrastructure and Services Limited. He has worked with CDAC, Center for Development in Advanced Computing, Noida. Ritesh sir has one more feather in the cap, working with the Ministry of Environmental and Forest in New Delhi on deputation from Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education from 2006 to 2007. Shri Ritesh Kumar has accomplished dissertation on the marketing potential of bamboo in Uttaranchal and adjoining areas as part of academic curriculum during MSc Forestry, basically in economics and management. Sir is having expertise in the field of ArcGIS, ADAS Imagine. He has also good knowledge of Map Info, NV, PCI Geomatica, Oracle, SQL. He has excellence analytical troubleshooting and interpersonal skills. Sir has qualified various examinations in the form of CSR, UGC NET, UGC, then GATE examination, and various other examinations. Sir will be delivering his session now on introduction to web GIS and remote sensing application. Sir, welcome to you, sir. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I think you have given a detailed description of mine. I was thinking that you will just give a glimpse of mine. So accordingly, I will take over from this. First of all, I would like to thank you, the organizers, those who have conceptualized this, because training a trainer, it's a good concept. If trainer is trained, means you are planting a seedling kind of thing, and the trainer will train lots of people. Means a chain reaction is initiated from this actually. So I would like to thank Dr. Manoj Pawarji and others who are involved in this organizing AICT, can say, training program, that is Atal Academic Program for Faculty Development, which is on advances in applications of remote sensing and GIS. So if advances is discussed, I would like to tell you that we all are having, in a way or the other way, we are having this glimpse of this web GIS, and we are either getting being affected, or we are either utilizing it, or also we are getting benefited out of this, even we don't know. So I would like to realize the audience on the different aspects of web GIS. And some of the applications that is there in terms of remote sensing, how this remote sensing can be applied in the real world situation. And to some extent, I will also try to focus on this forestry aspect. what we have applied in HRSAC. So accordingly, first of all, before I start on the technical part, I would like to tell you something on this HRSAC. HRSAC actually, it is a nodal agency of government of Haryana in the state of Haryana for any kind of mapping activity like you can say either any department or user department, if they require some kind of assistance in terms of remote sensing and GIS applications, they will approach this HRSAC, and HRSAC will cater to their needs. It has been established in the year 1986 and it became operational in the year 1989. Why I'm trying to say all this so that you can have an idea that there is an organization which is already working in this field. Although different organizations are also trying to venture into this. So it's since its inception, it has completed almost 250 projects, which is a successful one. And right now there are 32 projects that is going on. So it works for mapping, monitoring, and management of natural resources. Depending on the requirement of different departments, this department, HRSAC, it also creates GIS database, which is needed for developmental planning purpose. As we were discussing right now, that you must have master plan in GIS domain. So this also helps, or HRSAC also promotes actually, or you can say this research and development in the field of remote sensing and GIS applications. Even we try to guide and coordinate with different research organizations so that they can get benefited out of this, our experiences. HRSAC is also involved in imparting education, training and education activities, which is catering to the needs of different strata of the society. We take care of the school children also. We train them for one day. And beauty of this is that I have found one person in IRS Dehradun. He was pursuing MTech remote sensing over there, and he said that, sir, I have done one day, I have attended one day lecture program of your training program of your HRSAC, which is sponsored from ISRO. So the beauty of this training programs, that people are getting benefited and they are also advancing in their studies and career with the help of this. So we also take care of masters or PG students because of their needs, and PhD enrolled students. We also take care of this. We are having this MTech GI program, means MTech Geoinformatics program since 2019, which is running successfully since then. And every year, almost we are producing 10 to 12 MTech professionals or GIS professionals in the society. So we also run programs for teachers, school teachers, so that they can help their students if they find some GIS terminology over there in the curricula. We also cater to the needs of newly joined assistant professors or associate professors in the field of geography or any other domain, if they wish to come, if they wish to learn this technology. So this is all about HRSAC and its training programs, as well as the projects that we are taking care of in the state of Haryana. We also do national level projects, which is of national importance, which has, all those are sponsored by ISRO, and it is given to us. So coming back to the technical part, that is WebGIS, that is what I am going to talk. So we know all this, that World Wide Web, WWW, this 3W has transformed everyone and everyone's life. And it has also given some, you can say, advantages to GIS also. So you can say WebGIS is a kind of computer software, as integrity of computer software and hardware configuration, which allows sharing of maps, spatial data, and geographic processing operations, either through one's own network or using some common web communication protocols such as HTTP or WebSockets. So this is a kind of, you can say, there is a kind of centralized machine which acts as server, and n number of machines can get linked to it or get hooked to it to call one or the other requests from the server end. So before we start the sophisticated technical part, we must have an idea that how it all happened in the history and how it has come up. So in 1989, it was the first World Wide Web that was created in that era. And then 1993, this first web-based map was created. Then a map server was released in 1994. Afterwards, Atlas of Kannada was first published online in 1994 itself. Then USA developed this Tiger Web map server in 1995. And then came into picture the first generation internet-based GIS, which was released by ESRI, ESRI, Environmental System Research Institute, which is pioneer in many of the things in the field of GIS, and they are the leader. So Autodesk and Intergraph as well as MapInfo is also were also playing parallelly. Again in 2000, Jio 1. All these are actually related to web GIS. Jio Server was released in 2001. Afterwards, in 2004, NASA World Wind was released. Actually, if you will access this data set, you will find the real-time wind activity, how it is happening on the globe on a web page. So if you wish, you can search it on the Google and try to see it. So this is all satellite-based real-time assessment of worldwide wind over there. Then Google launched its Street View in May 2005, and Google Maps were launched in February 2005. So there you can see there is a little gap, and it has gone into the Street View. So again in 2006, Microsoft also came into this arena, and they released a virtual Earth over there. Wikimapia was also launched in the same year. Then Google Maps, they released their mobile version in September 2008. And in 2010, GeoNote was launched. Apple also came into existence in 2012 relating to mapping services, online mapping services, or you can say. In 2012, again, Arcgis also released their online services. So here is a mapping agency which is catering to the need of Microsoft. They also give real-time traffic services, and in July 2000, they launched their activities in 2017, and they get associated with Microsoft Corporation, and they were there providing. If you have Microsoft Mobile with you, you will find here in your mobile. So with this, I will say that how this technology has developed, you have a glimpse of that. So what are the intricacies that is involved in this technology? This is a technology, you can say this is called client server based technology, and which is, you can call it is a model that works as a separate client and servers, but all these are linked together with the help of computer network, maybe LAN, WAN, or any internet resources. So this WebGIS actually it utilizes, you can say, web technology to communicate between some components like a GIS server, maybe defined by some URL, or a client, which can be a web browser or a desktop application or a mobile application. So you all know all these things, that a web browser like maps.google.com. It is a web browser. It is giving you services of maps and navigation or identification of an location. So it is all based on some server client technology. So, and on this communication which is taking place between this client and the server, it is done with the help of some protocol, standard protocol, which needs to be followed, like HTTP or HTTPS. And the response format can be in the form of HTML, means that is the information that is coming from the server end, it is coming in HTML format, binary image, maybe XML, that is extensible markup language, or GML, that is geographic markup language, or JSON, JavaScript object notation. So taking into account this, there are, you can see different client, means your computer is a client, and there are servers which is installed somewhere, which we are not seeing it, but we are communicating with it. So some of the characteristics that is related to this client server systems, we can say that the client and the server, they may reside on the same system also. It may happen that your computer can be considered or configured as a server, and you can call all the data set from your server on the same computer itself. Means the same system is working as they are not physically separated but logically separated over there. So clients are not designed to share their resources. Means if you are working on a system which is only working as a client, you will not be able to share it to a number of people. Although you can use some applications, but you are not allowed to do so directly. So yes, clients, they can request their some of the contents that is coming from the server end. So you can say server can be communicated by different clients at a time. And this number is actually limited, or it is defined at the server end for a server, particular server. So, and this communication protocol for the server and the client is the same. Means if they won't understand the same language, they will not be able to communicate. So this is the communication protocols. These communication protocols are actually available in the web browser or some application layer. Like you can say that if you have a setup of Google Earth Pro and you have installed it, means you are using an interface of Google Earth Pro to interact with the server of Google Earth, and you are fetching a number of data set, you are displaying it on your screen, means your client end. So this is the application. Even Google has given some services on their browser end, that is earth.google.com/web. Means directly without installing any application, you can access Google Earth resources over there from the server. Means both ways you can communicate. These are some of the technology that we should know before we venture into more details of this WebGis. So Ajax, it is a asynchronous JavaScript and XML, because it is a technique, you can say, that allows, in simple language, it is a technique that allows a web page to fetch information from the server without going into a complete refresh kind of scene. आप कभी भी आप स्क्रीन पे कोई चीज जूम इन कर देते हो गूगल अर्थ के ऊपर, ये बार-बार स्क्रीन jerk नहीं करता, it goes smoothly and it shows you the details of different zoom level. It is possible because of Ajax that is already installed behind the scene, which is working for you. API, these are applications programming interfaces, and you can call it as an organized set of programming components that can be used to develop apps. Means you can develop your apps using a particular language. So it is a supporting kind of interface which gives you this option to develop a particular kind of application. Cloud is a concept. You can say it is a network group of computers which can be used to supplement one's own computational infrastructure. If you have a server at your organization and you want to increase this infrastructure, so you have to invest lots of money. So people are going to the cloud. They can purchase space over there, and this can be rented for you can say number of years, and you don't have to invest for the maintenance of this cloud. Just you have to pay the rent. So HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is secured one, means anytime if you have done banking transaction on your web page, you will see that the page is showing S over there. HTTPS means this is a secured site, and the information that will be transferred on this site will be encrypted one. It will not be direct one. Means no one can read in between what is being communicated over this this HTTPS network. SSL, this is a secured socket layer which is required for many transactions or over the internet. If you don't have this socket layer or security layer, you may be barred by the internet, this supervising community, and your system or your the data that you have published on the web will be not communicated on the internet. Means it will not be fetched by any other client end. So people use this HTTPS services by buying this SSL security layer over there. You can buy it from the different providing agencies are there. They will provide this security certification over there so that you can make your site secure one. Tiles, these are selected bundles, means packets of geographic data. Maybe usually they are in a square shape. That is fetched from the server end on multiple scales, and they are kept actually at multiple scales over there at the server end. So if you are trying to zoom in, means you are requesting server to give you the detailed information, and that detailed information is not at the client end right now. It is as you have zoomed in, this request is going to the server end, and then server is responding you, and it is giving you the further details or detailed data set that is available at the server end. So it can even store vector coordinates or rasterized maps, both, and both the details can be delivered to the client end. VGI, that is volunteer geographic information, and this data offers actually this is offered by non-experts and collected through everyday activities. If you are using some smartphone with you and you have logged in your Google account, so Google is actually creating maps for you for your movement. How many time, how much time you have spent where, and it can give you the whole pathway for your complete summary of your activities on the Earth surface where you have spent time. So this is being tracked by the smartphone GPS receivers. So web service, this is the code that runs on the server and can perform a specialized task in response to a client request. If I am asking something, Zoom is a kind of request. So web service is defined like this, that my Zoom will bring new images which is of higher resolution from the server end. So taking into account this WebGis architecture, it can be divided into 3 or you can say 4 or 5 parts, which is comprising of external clients, internal clients, a web browser or web server. We're not a web browser, it is web server, then GIS server and the data server. So all these data sets are kept at different servers. So you will see the beauty of this technology, that all the things are getting integrated at the runtime for on your request, and it is coming to you as a single message. So it is connected with other types of servers. GIS servers are actually connected with other types of servers, and they are networked so that it can accomplish the task which is requested from the this normal server. These GIS focused servers, they can also perform cartographic and as well as spatial processing operations. So they are such enabled that they can allow you to drawing maps and running some computational algorithms. It's okay. Excuse me. Hello. Hello? वो लिखा था इसमें, देखिए आप, मैं बाद में बात करता हूँ सर, अभी मैं क्लास में हूँ, ठीक है? Okay, coming back to the point, how this now come to the point that the GIS web services, how it is working behind the scene. GIS web services is you can call it as a code of or a piece of code, small piece of code that runs on the server on your request. And this service is, it can perform some actions in response to a client request actually, like drawing of some map for a particular region. Maybe a service might receive some bounding coordinates. You can give a coordinate of your location, and then you will say that you will find that it will draw a map. It will give the details within that area. So even with vector or raster data, both the things are coming from the server end with this type of services. So different web services, we will see it in detail. That is Jio Server, Map Server, and ISRI Arcgis Enterprise Server. So if someone wants to delve into this technology, because this is the future of this GIS technology, and remote sensing technology. If you are doing some activity and if you are not able to publish it on the web, it means you are keeping the data set in redundant mode. Even Government of India, they have created national spatial data infrastructure, and they made a policy for sharing of this all the spatial data set. And they have written letter to all the organizations, those who are keeping this data set, to be published on the web, so that anyone can know it, that they are having this such type of data set, and anyone can have a glimpse, as well as some downloading facility should be there. They are asking for some downloading facility also, because only this technology can be, you can say, expanded. Because it has been found that once you are restricting the data set and keeping it with you, confined within your organization, people are not aware what sort of data set is existing. जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही बात चल रहा था, we will create it. We are trying to create it, and we will create it. It may happen that we have already created it. Yes, anyone else has already created it. So if it is there in the public domain, so anyone can have a glimpse and fetch that data set. So different aspects are there, and we will see the different GIS web services provider. Is the Arcgis enterprise. So it can give you options, and it can help you to make maps and even apps. You can create applications. It has got beauty of this enterprise edition is that although it is paid one, but it has got this easy to use, and it can help you in making maps, as well as you can use those maps to be published somewhere on the web. Means you can share it, you can collaborate with different agencies and integrate all those data sets, and then you can publish it. Okay. It will help also to manage your enterprise data sets. Maybe on some cloud stores. They are having clouds also. They are providing lots of data set from their cloud as a base map. You can again create some other data set on these cloud or these existing maps, and you can again publish it. We will see some of the options which is not paid one. The map server. So it is an open source platform for publishing spatial data and interactive mapping applications to the web. So it has got, you can say it was developed originally in 1990s at the University of Minnesota, and it is released under this MIT style license, which is having some minimal restrictions, but it can be used by anyone. You can access it from this site that I have given on the right bottom, and you can utilize it, because you can use it to make your system, your own system, as a server to publish data set, a spatial data set. Beauty is that it can publish spatial data set. So it can cater to the needs of web map services. It can also give you services like web feature services and even tiles, that is raster data set, can also be fetched with the help of this in different formats. That is SWF, Adobe Flash Player का एक format है, SVG, Scalable Vector Graphic, and the PDF format. Another one, that is Jio Server. It is also an open source server for sharing geospatial data. So it is designed for interoperability, and it publishes data from many major spatial data sources using open standards. We will see what this open standards means. It can support vector files, shape files, database in PostGIS or Oracle, and it can give you services for web feature, like you can access shape file, GeoJSON or GML, or you can even have map service. Means you will get a map only JPEG file, PNG or GIF file, or you can even have the raster data set which is having georeferenced information, means web coverage service, and KML, which is a proprietary format of Google, keyhole markup language. So Open Geospatial Consortium, it is a worldwide community which is committed. Right now we have talked about this open sources, and if open sources are there, they must follow some standard. If they are not following the standard, how it is possible if I am trying to access data from this open source, it will be published, or it will be visible to me, or it will be delivered to me. So there must be some standard. So this OpenGIS Consortium, or you can say Open Geospatial Consortium, it is a worldwide community which is actually deciding on the these standards or protocols that needs to be developed in the open source. So it is a committed organization for improving access to geospatial or locational information. It actually represents over 500 business houses, government agencies, research organizations, and universities, which is, you can say, working with in unity with a desire to make location information fair. Fair in the sense findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. If it is not there, your data set that you have created, it is least worth over there. Means it is not getting the due credit over there. So this community actually it creates free, publicly available geospatial standards to be followed by the developers in this domain, open source domain. So it also manages an agile and collaborative research and development process. Sometimes they also go for anticipated products, which is developed to resolve existing problems, which is or the challenges faced by the experienced members of this organization. So this also facilitate to define a specification for WebGIS services in terms of web map service, in terms of map tile service, in terms of web feature service, and in terms of coverage services, as well as web processing services. So this in the realm of proprietary software, the E3 Jio Services actually outlines, and they also sometimes take cue of what is being developed in the open source, and they also include these standards in their developments, program development. So coming back to what is happening at the server end, again back to this, what is going at the client application end. So GIS client applications, these are also required sometimes, and it should be catering to the needs. Means it must have the quality to fetch the data set from the server end if I am trying to communicate through it. I will show you how it happens all in real time, utilizing some web services. So clients of a web service, or you can say WebGIS, can include locally installed desktop apps like Google Earth Pro. I am giving an example. Google Earth Pro.exe is an executable file which is installed at your desktop to fetch data set from the server end. And it can be browser-based apps also, maybe like Wikimapia, maybe like maps.google.com, or sometimes it is native to your mobile apps like here. So open source and proprietary applications programming interface, this actually abound for creating custom web and mobile applications that consume GIS web services. So all these applications are developed by the API. They consume these services in their applications, and then you are having access to the server dataset. Some of the GIS client applications are open layers, leaflet, and Arcgis APIs. So this open layer is in, you can say again, it is not it is in open domain. Anyone can use it without any charge. But Arcgis APIs, they are purchasable, means you have to bear a money for cost for that. So first of all, we will see this. What are these Arcgis APIs? It has got this. You can say it is a kind of software intermediate. It allows to two applications to talk to each other. Means if you are trying to communicate with the server, but you are not directly utilizing the application of server, but you are trying to communicate it from the client end, you must have some application over there. So if this application tries to communicate with the server end application, and then you get the required data set. So Arcgis API is comprises of JavaScript, Python, and Arcgis REST. They are meant for handling different activities. So JavaScript is to build compelling web apps that unlock your data's potential with interactive user experiences and a stunning 2D and 3D visualization. So Python library is there for performing GIS visualization, analysis, spatial data management, and GIS system administrations. Arcgis REST is there to manage users, how many users can directly access data set or a group or some items within your online organizations. The open source, that is open layers. This actually it is very easy to put a dynamic map in a web page. So it can display map tiles and even vector data set, and it can also load markers, or you can say some kind of attributes that can be loaded, which can be displayed. So open layers has been developed to be used as a geographic information or to deliver on the web to all kind of geographic information, and it is completely free and it is written in JavaScript. Then comes into picture this leaflet. This leaflet has got the beauty of lightness, means it is very light and it is quite usable by the developer for mobile applications. It is also written in JavaScript library. It is utilizing, and it is designed to handle simplicity, and it is good for performance and usability. So it works efficiently across all major desktop mobile platforms, and it can be extended because lots of plugins are there which can enhance its capability for different types of demands. So when the things are coming from different resources, actually it is not visualized by a common man that the things are coming from different resources. When you are just accessing maps.google.com, or I will show you one example which we have tried in this stubble burning case. So you will see that different maps are integrated together and then it is published on the web. And the person who is seeing it, they cannot have an idea that it is coming from two different resources. And then it is coming to them. So many apps are there. It is coming from, and many apps are there which is taking into account multiple web services, and they are bringing it before you on your display system. So take an example, some base map is coming from some other resource, and you are adding something on that and then publishing it on the web again. So this is called as a mashup service. इसका भी एग्जांपल हम आपको एक दिखाएंगे. अब when n number of people are trying to make utilization of or they are trying to hook to the server and accessing some information, so there can be issues of performance. Means maybe the server will not be able to handle more than 50, more than 100, more than 50,000, more than 1 lakh. So different server has got different performance issues, which is taken care by the server administrator. So people in general, they want or they expect a fast response from their apps, and this can be a challenging issue for the server administrator because many a times massive amount of data is requested in a single go. हो सकता है 4 लाख लोग एक साथ जुड़ जाएं सर्वर पे, और मेरे सर्वर की कैपेसिटी सिर्फ 50,000 को सर्विस देने की है. So you can see that the load and there is a gap between the supply and the demand. People have created 4 lakh demands, and the server is capable of supplying only 50,000 requests, catering to the needs of 50,000 requests. So administrator can improve the speed by reducing the number of transactions between clients. There are options. So we can either reduce the number of transactions between clients and servers, or if you want to make it fast, or the amount of information in each transaction. You can reduce the amount of information in each transaction. you will see that when you are trying to access some GIS web services, you will find that maps are opening one by one, layer by layer, or some part has opened on the other part has not been published right now with you on your display system. So you can also enhance this performance by simplifying the map symbols. If you are using some complex symbols over there, it will again demand resources. Vector coordinate geometries means you are utilizing number of this coordinates is too large. So again, it will demand resources to redraw or get queried from the server end. And if you are using some decimal numbers, you can reduce the size by just rounding it or restricting some web transactions. So all these are awareness which should be known to you if you are trying to publish your data set on the web. Again, if you are publishing something on the web, there is a chance of this security. So again, you have to take care of the security and the data integrity in the WebGIS, because spatial data contains lots of information in terms of attributes, and always it is at the time of creation resource demanding in terms of man hours as well as in terms of money involved and the resources, maybe software, maybe hardware. All these needs to be taken care of. Means if you are trying to publish it, you must secure it. So WebGIS administrator, they must ensure that sensitive data is not revealed. Even it may happen that some sensitive data is there, it should not be in the public domain. Although my services are there, you can access the information, but some of the layers is not displayed over there, will not open there over there, means it is restricted. So security rules can be applied at various tiers and may restrict access to end user applications. Maybe I am having some access at administrator level, I can see all the data set, I can fetch all the data set, but a query is coming from client end, and the client end person is a common man, so he will not be allowed to see all the data set over there. So when vector data is proprietary, maybe copyright protected, so it may be desirable to show it only in a rasterized map. Means you just give the rasterized image over there, which is not containing any coordinate information, rather than allowing them to download all this GIS layer over there, means vector layer. Sorry. So there must be limits which should be placed on the scope of web service request. Means you are not allowed to request such type of service. Even if you will try to do that, you will not get the information. So this will stop scrapping mass downloads and also restrict the enormous data processing jobs over there. And this can lessen the overburden at the server. Now the era has come. That people are keeping their data set on the cloud. Means you don't have to bother about the security issues, because cloud is already secured and they will take care of the security issues over there. Just you have to pay the rent over for the space that you will be utilizing for publishing your data sets. So cloud computing, it enables the commoditization of GIS. Means to a software, it is giving you, you can say, software as a service, where you don't have to purchase even the software also for managing your servers. So there are different companies, they are allowing it in free, and some are there which is taking money, charging money over there. So Isri Arcgis Online is there. It will charge money for you to do some kind of processing on the web itself. If you want to do some spatial analysis, you can do it on the web itself. They are giving all the services on online interface. Carto and Mapbox is also there. So this is the Isri Arcgis online service, which is where we can be facilitated with by building interactive web maps online, utilizing this software. You can even gain new perspectives and enhanced details. because it will be facilitated by different data sets over there from their server end. Then you can create some layers on that map or all existing data sets. You don't have to purchase that. If you once you have purchased this online service, then you can just utilize this service to access the data set at their server end. So you can use a smart data-driven mapping styles and some institutive analysis tools to gain information on your location. So this will enable you to work effectively across your organization by collaborating, building, and using maps. Share your insights. If you can share also, it can be shared on the web also to the entire world. Even. So Kato is there with a motto that a spatial analysis is not a rocket science. They are saying that it is not a rocket science. You can get more and more information on their site that is already there, kato.com. So they say that one day it will happen that all the people will need this spatial data and their decisions will become critical without this data set. So whether it is optimizing billboard sites, balancing sales territories, or designing some supply chains, understanding and analyzing a spatial data is critical to the future of any business. So this Kato's location intelligence platform actually allows organizations to store, enrich, analyze, and visualize their data to make a spatially aware decisions. And this can be also utilized by the government in making aware decisions, maybe G-governance. Hopefully it will happen one day in India also. Just an example there is some of the states they are trying to go with this geospatial technology. Mapbox, it is delivering products related to navigation. And they are saying that the day people navigate, they will change it. Means you will get lots of precise location data information with the help of this. And they are doing it for vehicular navigation. And it will come up in your, it is coming up in this new car or car technologies, optimizing it, utilizing it. Then how the society is responding? What is the role of the society? You can say that maps are made, but it is kept somewhere. Then you have to put it in how it is to be delivered to the public. This is the only option, the WebGIS. This includes sharing of downloadable vector, raster data, and you can use such websites, sometimes geo portals or some locations, maybe fire locations. Yes, Government of India has also mandated the different space application centers and ISRO share their data online, because this is the only economical solution. Because every time you cannot ask for, if you don't have the idea what set of data set is there available, it is available with HRSEC, how can you ask it? So it should be displayed. So the web augments the potential of public participation, PPGIS. Maybe I will show you one example of participation of people and how this GIS data set has been created. So these are some of the examples of WebGIS site. This is the site address. I will show you in the detail. Yes. So you can see the example of mashup. What I was talking about, this mashup, this is SILKS, Sericulture Information Linkages and Knowledge System. It is published, it is created in open source utilizing JavaScript, and it has been published from server which is there at NESAC, Northeast Space Application Center. And HRSEC was also partner in this project, and we have tried to search, or you can say analyze information related to this suitability area for this development of sericulture activity in the state of Haryana, so that the farmers get benefited because of cash crop, as well as there should be some rotation kind of thing also, which will prevent the soil nutrient loss in the long run because of monotonous type of agriculture practice or in the state of Haryana. So 3 districts were identified by a national project done by ISRO that Panchkula, Ambala and Yamunanagar is quite good for development of mulberry sericulture over there. Mulberry is a plant and silkworm grows over there and it creates cocoon, which is further processed to derive the silk thread. So you can see this site. You can see at the right end, this Panchkula is there. So you can see this. Lots of information is there related to silkworm food plant production technologies, techniques of rearing silkworm, disease and pest management, improved varieties of silkworm, food plant, processing of cocoons, how it can be done, a species of silkworm, infrastructure and equipments, and allied sectors and occupations. So this data set is shared on web. So anyone can fetch it or see it. When I tried to fetch it yesterday, it showed me an error. This you can see the central portion is showing we are having trouble finding that site. Means you can see this is a mess up, means 2 servers are playing. This outer information means the boundary information is coming from some server, other server, and the GIS server is right now not working. This GIS server is right not working. That's why the data was not fetched, because you can see. Hello.
Dear participants, kindly mute yourself. Ritesh sir, you can continue now. It seems somebody by mistake.
Yeah, this is the you can choose information means n number of a state has participated, because India is lacking in this sulking down in silk production, and China has taken lead over there. So taking into account this Central Silk Board, they have given this opportunity to this Northeast Space Application Center, or you can say Department of Space, ISRO, to find out more locations where we can go for such type of activities. So this came to us, and we tried to develop the data set with the help of different resources of special data, that is Cartosat DAME, which was utilized for creating slope maps, because there was criteria that these silk plants they won't be grown in an area where the flat bed is there, or you can say the slope is very high. Flat bed is okay, but no water retention should be there. Soil texture map was utilized, soil depth map was utilized, soil drainage map was created, soil pH was also taken into account of these 3 districts. Groundwater prospect was taken from the Rajiv Gandhi drinking water mission. A special data was created earlier in regard to this project, and weather data was taken from IMD. Rainfall map was created with the help of this. Means 10-year data set was processed to ascertain the climatic condition prevailing in these districts, and to find out the climatic limitations for this mulberry plant over there, and then other limitation, that is suitability for climatic limitations for silkworm also. So this gave us some area. Actually, the LULC layer gave us the wasteland over there, and it was mandated that you should target the wasteland only in the initial phase of this project. Means farmers will be promoted to reclaim this wasteland with the mulberry plantation and rearing of silkworm over there. This will help them to get more money, as well as the land will also be reclaimed. So this is a kind of multi-criteria analysis to find out some potential sites for mulberry silkworm. So this is the spatial distribution of those wastelands, which has been categorized as highly suitable, moderately suitable, and marginally suitable in the districts of Panchkula, Ambala, and Yamunanagar. You can see they all are lying in the northward region. Maximal area it has come up in Panchkula area, and the second one is Yamunanagar, and the list is in Ambala. The Department of Horticulture in the state of Haryana is responsible for doing agriculture activities. So they are doing it in integrity with the people of Central Silk Board, means the scientists of Central Silk Board are also working in integration with Horticulture Department of Haryana to develop this sericulture activities in the state of Haryana. So another example, this I have taken that is GeoTV. It is running from our own server, that is Haryana server. This is meant for ease of doing business. Here you can see the plot level information is shown over there, and once you click, it is in public domain. You can access it. You can write this ssac.org.in/eodb is the site address. It is a secure site, as you can see. HTTPS is there, so it is a secure site. Once you click on any box on any plot, you will get the information who is the owner of this and who has been owner of this earlier. So this geographic information or geospatial information is coming from the Haryana server, but this owner's name or who is the owner of this plot, it is coming from NIC server. Both are working in integrity to give you this information without any knowledge or without any background knowledge. You are assessing this information, means you are just by clicking a simple left mouse click, you are trying to interact with two servers from your client end. Another example, properties and taxation. It is also being run from the Haryana server, and there you can say site name is like this mcg.gov.in. Haryana has created this for assessment of property and means how much your area is constructed and how many floors you have constructed, and then this property tax bill is generated, and the person owner of this property, they have to pay that tax generated by the Haryana on the basis of remote sensing data set, whatever area you have constructed, your floor area as well as schools. Another example, I am showing you, this is a school dashboard. This is a project with a vision that the state, you can say board of Haryana, they have given it to us, Haryana, to create database which will contain information about the, you can say a school location as well as number of other related information like number of classrooms, number of teaching staff, number of non-teaching staff, number of students, and bench type, as well as means number of sitting arrangement, as well as CCTV camera over there where it is installed, and whether you have a mobile tower at your own school premise or somewhere else like that, so that internet facility can be checked. Why this data set is being created? Because they want to curb the cheating practice. If it is happening somewhere, the chairman wants to go there and find it out. But every time when they try to visit, the school is already having information that chairman is coming. It all happens because chairman goes to some location, and when he says or some staff member, they say like that, sir, school to udhar hai. When he tries to go there, he found that the school intended school is not there. Means chairman is having some idea that some practice is going on in that location. So, but still, some people mislead them. So, to curb this misleading practice, they wanted this data set in the special format, and it will be delivered with, you can say, road network, so that they can have idea unko naka kahan pe lagana hai and how to handle this cheating practice going on there. So you can see this is a figure is showing that it is 5,682 information has been received, and mind it, it has not been created by Haryana staff. It has been created by the school staff. We have developed a mobile application. gave it to, we have published it on our Arcgis, this Haryana website. There is a link. You can download this application, as well as user manual is there, and you can give your information on this. Submit your information. You will find a proper form over there in this mobile application. You have to submit all the information in this, and it will fetch the location information automatically, and it will come to our server end. So this is the beauty of, you can say, people's participation in creating GIS database. Now, another example of mashup. Recently, you must have heard this, and you must have faced the pollution problem in your area also. Because of this, people say that it is because of stubble burning, but there are observations and scientific studies that it is not only because of stubble burning, but because of transport, as well as contributions from transport sector, as well as industrial sector, which is there in the NCR region. So this information on daily basis from this 15th of September to 30th of November, Haryana was given responsibility to deliver it to the executing agencies. So you can see the basis of Google Maps, but another information that is in the format of point, which is showing which is shown in colors, different colors as per the districts. You can zoom it to these points, and you can click on these points so that you can have related information like district name, the block name, the village name, then the latitude and longitude of this burning event that is taking place in somewhere in the cropping field. So this is the report of, or you can say the map of burning events of 9th November 2021. So every day, once the data set is received from satellite, and this is the satellite data, you can see. These points are burning points. It has been supplied by satellite, and it is coming to us from NRSC. And NRSC is taking it from some NASA's satellite, which is called as SNPP, Suomi NPP, and MODIS. Both are giving at different resolutions this special information of burning events that is happening in this area. Then we try to filter it out with different techniques to bring out the real burning events. Maybe the burning events reported by NASA is having, or the ISRO is having burning points, or you can say heated points represented by brick kiln or any factory chimney or any thermal power plant. But all those things are removed because we have used crop mask for the Kharif season of rice. And only those points are reported which is lying in this cropping plots. Others are removed. And all these informations are not coming from NASA. These are integrated from Haryana side, like block name, village name, and other things, district name. All these are integrated, and then it is delivered to the executing agency, and they go in the field. Either they book the farmers, or some FIR is lodged against his name, or some fine is taken up. So different, in today's world of images, you can say that different imageries are available at different resolutions. Many are there in the, you can say, free domain. It is freely available. We can use it. If you think that you are trying to develop some project for the benefit of society, the data set or the remote sensing data set is not an issue nowadays, because even microwave data set is available free of cost, given by Sentinel-1. High resolution data set up to 10 meter, it is available free of cost, given by Sentinel-2. Both are both the satellites are of European Space Agency, and within the acquisition of this data set, within 4 hours, you can say we'll get the data set on the web. That also with georeferencing and octo-rectification. So different maps can be generated, thematic layers can be generated for mapping of crop production, forest management, urban growth, wasteland mapping, land use mapping, coastal low zone delineation, even flood mapping. In advance, you can go for drought monitoring, as well as mineral targeting, marine resources survey, as well as command area management. Many more things are there. Right now, ISRO is delivering data set to fishermen for a good catch on the basis of ocean remote sensing data set analysis. Now I will try to focus on the forestry applications that we have done at HARSEC. And all these are implemented projects. I will not go through all the projects that we have done, but I will show you some remarkable projects which is quite good and has some implications in planning and management of forest resources in the state of Haryana. So we have done this mapping of georeferenced forest maps, because although notifications are there with the Haryana Forest Department, but they don't have the idea on the ground that where is the boundary, where we have to stop. Means either if they don't know the boundary, they will encroach upon farmers' land, and there will be a legal battle, or even there is a chance that farmers will encroach upon their land, and then there will be a chance of battle. So with the help of this, we have taken Mosavis and scanned it and digitized it, and again georeferenced this to create a georeferenced Mosavi. You can see these scanned Mosavis all are georeferenced, and these georeferenced Mosavis are then fitted with the cadastral information. Means cadastral information is generated in the format of grids, which will contain Murabba and Khasra number. As per the details provided by Haryana Forest Department, where it exists on the satellite image, means on the ground, you can see this is a georeferenced forest map of this is the outcome of those activities what we were seeing right now. This is Baragaon protected forest, and the Hadvas number of this village is 69. It is in Karnal range, and it is coming in Karnal Forest Division. So you can see its location. Here it is. So this is the forest area, and it has been applauded by different foresters and even range officers, and even it has been signed by the DFOs, and they have found it quite utilizable, usable. Many of the disputes can be resolved, and even revenue department, they have validated it. It is not so that only forest department is validating it. It is validated by the revenue department also. They have signed those documents. You can see this signatures over there. District revenue officer. So another data set that we have created. Now we have boundary, means the forest area, notified forest area. So we can go ahead with the mapping of forest canopy density inside those notified forest areas. So we have taken up this project also, and it was funded by HFD. Right now I am just presenting the Yamunanagar case, which was published in ISPRS, although it has been implemented for the complete state of Haryana. Why this forest canopy density? because assessing forest cover status, it is helpful in planning and implementation of afforestation. Reforestation, rehabilitation activities can also be taken care of with the help of this type of data sets. Monitoring of large area on continuous basis, assessment of change due to fire, fuel, and fodder collection, logging and timber extraction, as well as it will help in monitoring of forest health. With all these visions, we have tried to frame some objectives. This is the Yamuna Nagar, which is surrounded by, you can say, Ambala, Karnal, and one portion is, you can say, the eastern part is covered by this Uttar Pradesh and northern is Himachal Pradesh. So this area, this study will actually have some objectives, which is, you can say, development of a semi-expert system, because foresters, they are not technocrats. Many a times it happens that they are not technocrats. So how to derive this forest canopy density? Because this is quite important information, as you can have seen in assessment of a situation in the forest. So we have tried to develop a semi-expert system to derive this forest canopy density utilizing high resolution IRS list 4 datasets. So it was also intended to classify the forest, you can say, canopy density classes within the notified forest area. That will also, I will show you, and large scale mapping of forest cover in the state of Haryana. So this is the flow chart of methodology that was adopted. The data set came in the format of, we have utilized post-monsoon resource set 2 list 4 data set for the year 2017. This project has already been completed, and we have already submitted the data set to HFT. So this data set came in the format of TN. As you know, all that the data set supplied is always in the format of TN, digital numbers. So this digital numbers was converted to radiance images and then radiance to reflectance images. This reflectance images actually contains information of what is there on the ground, reflectance of what is there actually on the ground. As you know, the DN number, it contains information of path radiance also, so that needs to be removed. So this was taken care of while preparing, pre-processing the data sets, and different vegetation, or you can say, indices were calculated, like advanced vegetation index, bare soil index, canopy index, which was further processed to create vegetation index, and then shadow index was scaled, which was integrated with this scaled vegetation intensity, or you can say index, to derive the forest canopy density. Different formulas are involved. I will show you also that. And then accuracy was assessed from the ground with the help of hemispherical photography technique. So this is the formula that is required to convert this DN numbers to at sensor radiance, that is L lambda. You can see the DN values that is there per pixel, and this SR is the saturation radiance of care path, which is available in the you can say metadata. Again, this L lambda is further processed. This image, which is covered in the format of L lambda, that is at sensor radiance image, is again processed to create this sensor reflectors. You can see this is the formula where Earth sun distance is also involved, as well as azimuth angle of the sun is also involved. So this is the formula of AVI, that is advanced vegetation index, and you can see the band 4 is involved, as well as band 3 is involved to derive the vegetation of the area, vegetation cover of the area. But there can be bare soil also. So another formula, that is PSI, it will enhance the bare soil over there in the area. And if some tree is there, which is having a large volume of biomass over there, it will have shadow index also. It will create some shadow over there. So shadow index was also taken care of, which was calculated with the help of band 2, that is green band. In case of, no, this is band 2, 3, and 4. This is band 2 is green band, yes, and band 3 is red band, and band 4 is near infrared band. So this first component of the principal component analysis, it was utilized. It was created utilizing advanced vegetation index and bare soil index, and this was rescaled to create the vegetation density on a scale of 0 to 100. Again, shadow index was scaled, which was already created with the help of a formula already explained. Again, it was scaled to 0 to 100, and then this FCD was developed with the help of VD multiplied with SSI, that is scaled shadow index, as well as this is on the root, you can say. So this forest canopy density was calculated within the notified forest with the help of all this formula that was utilized. So it a simple interface utilizing all these formulas can give the data set or FCD to even a person who is not having great knowledge in this field. So forest density, actually you can say canopy density, was classified. A new classification system was developed in integrity in consultation with, you can say, Haryana Forest Department, you can say forest officers over there. So they said that you must bifurcate the already existing classification system given by FSI, that is 0 to 10, 10 to 40, 40 to 70. 0 to 10 is open land or scrubland, or 10 to 40 is open forest over there, and 40 to 70 is moderately dense, or you can say, and then high density forest is there beyond 70. But they said that no, we need to develop some working plan. So we must have bifurcation so that we can cater to the needs of target areas, and we can target it properly. So they developed this classification system, which is having 6 classes and categorized as scrubland, which is less than 10%. Means if canopy cover is covering less than 10%, it is scrubland. If canopy cover is covering from 10 to 20%, it is open forest 1. And then open forest 2, that is 20% to 40%. And then moderately dense forest is categorized from 40 to 60%. And then medium dense forest, that is categorized from 60% to 80%. And above that, this is highly dense forest. So it was taken care of. And this is the map that we have generated. You can see, this is not a, you can say, vector map. It is a raster map generated with the help of per pixel manipulation, utilizing all those formulas. So the results suggested that in Yamunanagar district, only 10% is forest, and out of this, approximately 60% comes under moderately dense forest and medium dense forest, means 40 to 80% forest canopy density category. Further, we found that area under category of this 60 to 80% comprises of which is 40.3% of the total notified forest, and around 24.2%, that is area of 10,423.9 hectares or acres, you can say, area is under scrubland, which needs to be taken care of and on priority basis. So this classification system, or you can say, was able to achieve overall accuracy of 93%. Means this semi-spot system is capable of giving you information on an accuracy of around 93%, and the kappa coefficient is also around 0.92, which suggests that means 92% chance is there that whatever class it is saying, it is that class. Means only 8% chance is there that it may be the either upper class or maybe the lower class in the density category. So this is applied for planning and management of forest resources. It is being utilized over there. I will show you the GIS or WebGIS application of this. As the process is semi-automatic, repetitive analysis can be done with the help, which will help in monitoring the changes in the forest also. If you are doing some management practices over there, it will also give you information on those things, whether the things are getting replenished over there or not. So this method is quite quick and very useful for areas which are not accessible on ground. Ho sakta hai, on daily basis, you will not be able to go to the ground, but after 15 to 16 days, you will get the data set again of list 4. So you can again analyze it. So what is happening over there? So actually, this system of analysis will upgrade the planning capacity of decision makers in forest management and increasing the information collecting capability of foresters. And this will also reduce, in long term, it will reduce the cost and it will be, you can say, save time also. So this is the Haryana Forest Department WebGIS portal interface. It is not in public domain, it is restricted one. So you will not get the access to this. If you try to access, it will ask login ID and password from you. I have got this login ID and password from the forest department as we are working with them. So they have given this. I have just switched on some of the themes that is available. You can say Aravali and the forest boundaries. Here you can see the forest patches in the state of Haryana. It is very limited. Only 3% of Haryana, of total geographical area of Haryana, is covered by forest, natural forest. And if you will add some all the trees over there in the state of Haryana, that is tree outside forest or cluster of trees there, which is outside, which is there on the panchayati land or some agriculture field, it will come up with to 60%. Means in totality, it is only 6%. So that was one aspect of forestry. Another aspect, that is wildlife. Hello.
Chandrakant Shukla ji, kindly take care this in future. Sir, there was some mic switch on by some participant.
So whether it cannot be controlled from the host side, I can. I think it can be.
We have controlled it. I have muted him.
Okay. So habitat suitability analysis for black buck. Why this black buck? Because it is an endangered species and enlisted in the IUCN endangered species category. So, and it is most important, it is the state animal of Haryana. So forest department is also engaged in conservation activities for this black buck. So we have tried to delineate some eco-sensitive zone around Nahar Wildlife Sanctuary, which I am not delivering here, but I will try to show you how this, and also we have tried habitat suitability analysis for black buck in this area. So it is situated in Rewari district. You can see this is a small patch. This is a small patch which is there in the Rewari district, and it is bifurcated into 3 parts. You can see this is a small part. In between, some agriculture activities are there, and again there is a line. You can see this is a state highway passing through the center of the sanctuary. So what is the importance, why we have taken up this study? Although it was an academic program, but later on realizing the importance of this study, Haryana State Forest Department, they have tried to integrate some of the things from this study in their own booklet that was being generated for the delineating eco-sensitive zone on the behest of Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India. So black buck is the state animal of Haryana, and its population in the study. We have tried to know the status of population of black buck in the study area. Black buck. Then what are the, because people are also trying to do some habitat restoration activity over there. It was initiated in May 2014. So we have tried to assess what sort of changes has occurred over there. So, and so there are reports also which suggest that it should be remote sensing activities can be taken up, and it should be delineated, and it should be ascertained that what sort of differences has come up after this activity has been taken up in collaboration with some universities and institutes. So even this ministry report, they are also suggesting some eradication plan for Prosopis two objectives were there of this study, but I will talk about only one objective here, that is habitat suitability analysis for the black buck conservation. Although we have delineated eco-sensitive zone around wildlife sanctuary, that is around 10 kilometers as per the you can say not directions of MOEF, Government of India. So this is the methodology that we have utilized, in which we have taken different data sets, special data sets of bioclimatic factors or variables, which was extracted from world climate data sets and again converted back to ASCII format, which is the requirement of the actually Maxent software, which we have utilized, which gives analysis on the basis of learning process to find out the suitable sites where the habitat is suitable for a particular animal. So this is again the Landsat 8 data was utilized for layer compositing and LULC preparation, and then this was ground verified so that we can ascertain the accuracy of this, which can be utilized further in this suitability analysis process. Again, some field observations in relation to where the species are found. This black buck is found, Antilope cervicapara is found. So this is the land use and land cover classification of the study area, in which you can see this is the small patch of this conservation site. So these are the graphical representation of weightage of variables. All those variables were taken care by the Maxent software, and some of the variables they come up with greater weightage, means which affects the distribution of this animal in the area, which is mean diurnal range of temperature, and then maximum temperature of the warmest month, as well as the temperature annual range of the month. Means mostly the temperature is the affecting factor, and one factor, that is the land use, they actually prefer a scrubland. So you can see here, the scrubland category has got the highest weightage over there. So this is the map that we have generated, and we have found that suitability is also beyond this conservation area that is delineated by the forest department, and it is all based on the, you can say, their presence points, which was collected from the field. So you can see the eco-sensitive zone boundary also here. This is the eco-sensitive zone boundary, and here you can see there is some kind of suitability also there. It is also there. So the blue area shows it is not suitable. Green area is showing moderately suitable, and or light green area is also showing moderately suitable, and the red area is showing the highly suitable patch. So the statistics that was obtained with the help of remote sensing technology, it is so eco-sensitive zone is up to 10 kilometers. It comprises of just 4,000, around 4,000 hectare, and the area of the sanctuary is around 211 hectare. And among these, only 156 area is suitable. 156 hectare is suitable, and you can say high to moderately suitable area is in and around sanctuary. Around sanctuary also it is taking care. So it has come up around 174 hectare. And most of the area, it was found that it is unsuitable because they are having agriculture field or some other land use over there. So 70%, 75% of the total area of the sanctuary, which is 156.43 hectare, is having highest probability for suitability of habitat for this animal. But the most questionable thing is that this black buck is confined by barbed wires. Means there is another fencing inside this conservation zone, which is having only 28.32 hectare area. Means so they are allowed to move only in 13% of the total area available inside this wildlife sanctuary. So this can be extended up to 75% of the total area to reduce the population stress among the species over there. So these are some of the activities that has been taken up. You can see activities for conservation of black buck in Nahar Wildlife Sanctuary. You can see this Prosopis chilustora was once planted over there for greenery purpose, but because this species is hardy and it can establish itself in a soil which is having salt pan below it. This soil is very hard and it won't allow percolation of water over there. So that's why we will not find any soft species, soft leaf species. Prosopis is there, but Prosopis is not liked by this animal. So as soon this was announced declared as this wildlife sanctuary, so this Prosopis was, you can see it is being removed in some of the areas so that this animal gets favorable, suitability in, or may adjust well in this location. Some other activities that was taken up over there in the wildlife sanctuary, that is creation of grazing beds, and actually they have fenced this animal to protect it. They also said that there's some poaching threat is also there, so it may get killed. So boundary within boundary is there. This is the natural pond, and another pond has already been created for this water recharging activities over there. So to conclude with, I will say that this satellite data is quite good for delineating eco-sensitive zones around any kind of wildlife sanctuary or any kind of protected areas. But this delineation, it has shown us that there is a brick kiln within the eco-sensitive zone, 2000 or 3000 meters, and this is not allowed actually as per the convention or as per the act. So delineating boundary of Nahar Wildlife Sanctuary utilizing satellite data and ground verification, it was found that black buck's movement are restricted and it is confined. So, and even some of the, although the most of the suitable area it was found within the sanctuary, but it is to some extent it is also going outside. So that should be taken care of. Other limiting factor which we have also found that it's Prosopis juliflora, it has not been eradicated completely from this sanctuary. So it needs to be eradicated in a phased manner and replacing it with some other species which is suitable for or conducive for the flourishment of this particular animal. Some of the suggestions that we have given to the forest department, that is they should monitor that this movement or some kind of activities which is not allowed around this around the protected zones. So that should be strictly monitored. Like if some brick kiln is there, it's you must take care of that. So a state highway that runs through the sanctuary course, it should be realigned to an alternate route so that the natural corridor within the sanctuary boundaries is not obstructed. Okay. It is obstructing the movement of animals over there. And the authorities should also, or even we have given suggestion that you can change road traffic or you can put some restrictions of timing over there for the vehicular movement. if we know the movement of animals when they move from one part to another part, then we can change the traffic norms over there. Or we can construct some underpass between the two parts, so or three parts, so that they can utilize the whole space for their flourishment. And as per one discussion, we have found that eradication of prosopis will take another 3 years to be eliminated from there, because it has got very strong adaptation to the climatic condition prevailing over there. With this, I will finish, and I hope that this lecture must have given some idea regarding real-time applications of remote sensing and GIS, including the advancement that is coming up in this field in terms of WebGIS. Thank you all. If you have any question, you can ask me.
Any participants, they can unmute themselves or can raise their hand if they are having any question. Sir, the presentation was very grounded, and it was like you started very right from informing about what HARSEC is doing, and various informative related to the HARSEC, and then related to the WebGIS, and then concluding towards the real life examples that you are actually conducting. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our request for delivering this lecture at a very short notice, and kindly convey our thanks to Professor Arya also. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you all the audience and the organizers.
Thank you, sir. To all the participants will be again Dr. Shama Gupta from IRS Dehradun. She'll be joining us at 2:30. So you all are requested to kindly start logging in at 2:20. I'm not ending the meeting. I'm stopping the recording and the live session. You all are requested to kindly join us back by 2:30.